What does it really mean to be rich? When people hear the word rich, most of us immediately picture someone who has a lot of money, a large house, an expensive car, a substantial savings account, or perhaps a bank account balance that keeps growing. And there is nothing wrong with any of those things. However, there is an interesting economic insight that is often overlooked. Wealth is not always measured by how much money you have. Sometimes wealth is better measured by how many choices you have. What does that mean? Let's think about it for a moment. When most people talk about money, they usually focus on the amount, how much they earn, how much revenue their business generates, how much money is in their bank account. But there is a question that may be even more important. What does money actually give us? Many people would answer a house, a car, food, or other material possessions. And that is certainly true. But if we look deeper, money actually buys something far more valuable. It buys freedom of choice. Because whenever our financial situation improves, it is not only our money that increases, our options increase. We gain more freedom in how we spend our time. We gain more freedom in choosing the work we want to do. We gain more freedom in taking risks. We gain more freedom in deciding what kind of life we want to live. On the other hand, when someone lives paycheck to paycheck without adequate savings, their choices become increasingly limited. They may have to accept any job that becomes available, even if they dislike it. They may have to pass on promising opportunities because they lack the necessary time or capital. They may have to remain in situations that are far from ideal simply because they have no alternative. In that situation, the problem is not just a lack of money. The real problem is a lack of choices. That is why wealth is not only about how much money we accumulate, it is also about how much control we have over our own life decisions. The more choices available to us, the greater our freedom. And the greater our freedom, the richer we truly are. To understand this idea, imagine two people. The first person has savings of $30,000. At first glance, many people would consider him wealthy. However, he also has a large mortgage, car payments, high living expenses, school tuition for his children, and numerous financial obligations that must be paid every month. As a result, he has to keep working just to maintain his current lifestyle. If his income stops, financial pressure arrives almost immediately. Now imagine the second person. He has savings of only $6,000, far less than the first person. However, he lives simply, has no debt, maintains low living expenses, and requires relatively little money each month. If he stopped working today, he could continue living for months without significant difficulty. So who is richer? Most people would immediately point to the first person because he has a larger amount of savings. But from another perspective, the answer is not so simple. The second person may possess something even more valuable than money. Choices. He has the freedom to reject work he does not enjoy. He has time to learn new skills. He has the opportunity to experiment with new business ideas without overwhelming financial pressure. And in many situations, choices are an incredibly valuable form of wealth. This leads to a definition of wealth that is rarely discussed. Wealth is the amount of time you can live without having to sell your time to someone else. The longer you can sustain your lifestyle without depending on your next paycheck, the greater your freedom. And the greater your freedom, the richer you truly are. This is why we sometimes see people who appear extremely wealthy on the outside, but live under tremendous pressure. Every month they must hit targets. Every month they must manage cash flow. Every month they worry about what will happen if their income declines. Meanwhile, there are others who live much more modestly, but have far more breathing room. They may not own many possessions, but they possess peace of mind. They may not enjoy great luxury, but they possess freedom. Because in the end, money is not the destination. Money is simply a tool for buying choices. And the more choices you have over your own life, the closer you are to true wealth. So here is an interesting question to reflect on today. If your income stopped tomorrow, how long could your current lifestyle continue? The answer to that question often provides a more honest measure of wealth than the number displayed in a bank account.